to order.
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Here.
Councilmember Fleming.
Here.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Here.
Councilmember Sikora Ludwig.
Here.
Council Vice President Egan is absent. Council President Escobar.
Yes. Please be advised that the notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act has been complied with and satisfied, and that the annual notice, which gave sufficient notice of the time and place and conduct of all public meetings of the Municipal Council of the City of New Brunswick, has been filed with the City Clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board in City Hall, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the City of New Brunswick, namely the Home News Tribune.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time in June, we celebrate, we observe Juneteenth, and so I'm asking everyone to let us reflect and honor the courage, resilience, and spirit of those who fought for freedom, justice, and equality. Thank you.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Sikora Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Madam Clerk, has the correspondence been directed to the appropriate departments?
Yes, Madam President, the correspondence received by the City Clerk's office was forwarded to the appropriate departments for further action.
Thank you. At this time, I will pass the meeting to Mr. Shammy, as we are scheduled to have several public hearings with different liquor licenses.
Yes, thank you, Madam Council President, members of council. This first meeting in June is our annual review of licenses, liquor licenses within the City of New Brunswick that carry special conditions. In connection with that particular classification, there is required under the law that before the council renew a particular liquor license with a special condition that there be a public hearing for purposes of public comment, licensee comment in connection with that renewal with those conditions. Tonight we have 4 particular liquor licenses on for public hearing. I'll try to get through them as quick as I can. I'll go through your agenda 1 through 4 in the order as presented. I will represent to the council that through the city clerk, all licensees have been noticed of the public hearings. They're not required to attend, but we have an obligation to tell them that these particular matters are on. To my knowledge, none of the licensees have objected to any reimposition of the special conditions. Therefore, that doesn't preclude them from appearing and objecting at this time, but I don't anticipate a full-blown hearing with sworn testimony on any of these 4 licenses that are before the council. So having said that, we'll start with the first license that's listed on your agenda. Rhythm Hospitality Group, LLC, trading as Social Room Bar, license 1214-33-079-008. In connection with the prior renewal of this license for the 2022-2023 license year, there were 6 special conditions that were imposed. I will recite them for the record, for the council, for the benefit of the public. And then I would ask the council president to open up the public hearing. Any public comment, then we would close the hearing and move on. Okay? Condition number 1, licensee shall limit its maximum occupancy of the licensed premises to a total of 399 persons. 2, the licensee will cease the practice of conducting tea nights or 18 to enter, 21 to drink events at the licensed premises. 3, the licensee shall comply with all New Jersey state statutes, New Jersey ABC regulations, and local City of New Brunswick ordinances regarding advertisements and promotions relative to events at the licensed premises. 4, licensee acknowledges that the City of New Brunswick Police Department and/or New Brunswick Fire Department are permitted to and will conduct periodic inspections of the licensed premises at the respective department's sole discretion, and licensee shall comply with all requests of the respective department during said inspection. 5, the licensee shall not allow, permit, and/or suffer in or about the licensed premises the consumption of alcoholic beverages by persons under the legal age to consume alcoholic beverages. And 6, the conditions placed upon the license shall continue at the annual renewal of same, and the licensee hereby consents to and agrees to the within conditions, subject to modification and/or removal of part or all of said conditions by the City Council of the City of New Brunswick at the City Council's sole discretion. These were the special conditions, members of council, from the last license renewal. These are proposed to be the special conditions for the 2023-24 license year. At this time, Madam Council President, I would ask that you open up the hearing to public comment.
So we are getting ready to open the public hearing on this matter only. You have up to 5 minutes per person, one time up. Any member of the public wishes to address the council on this matter, please approach the microphone. Having none?
Close the hearing.
Close the hearing.
Okay. With respect to this particular matter, it will be submitted to council for resolution of renewal with the special conditions. Number 2, we have the license of the Vine of New Brunswick, LLC, trading as the Vine, liquor license number 1214-33-028-006. For reference, the council may recall this was the license that was issued to Kelly's Corner. It's subsequently with this particular licensee now. At the time of the renewal, when it was with Kelly's Corner for the 22-23 license term, there were 3 special conditions. I will read them. Licensee shall not alter the premises from the layout shown in the sketch plan previously furnished by licensee and approved by Council Resolution R-061306 and on file with the city clerk without first obtaining the further approval of council by resolution. I will advise the council that the licensee has recently submitted a revised floor plan for consideration by the city and ultimate approval by the city council. That is not before you yet because it is working its way through the clerk's office and the various departments and divisions that need to vet that particular floor plan. If this special condition ultimately is imposed, it will be with respect to that most recent floor plan that would be authorized by the city council. 2, there shall be no live music or live entertainment, provided that this shall not preclude playing of the jukebox or television set. And 3, the above license is granted subject to compliance with Ordinance O-029-609 as amended relative to educational requirements for managers. Having recited those special conditions, I would ask, Madam Council President, that you open up this matter for hearing, comment to the public. Thank you.
At this time, any member of the public who wishes to address the council on this matter, you have up to 5 minutes, one time up. Please approach the microphone. There's none.
Close the hearing. And this particular license application is not before council yet tonight for renewal, but probably will be at the council's future meeting. All right, number 3, we have continuation of special conditions for La Famosa Inc., trading as La Famosa, liquor license 1214-33-045-003. With respect to the 22-23 license year, there were 5 special conditions imposed upon the license. The city is seeking to reimpose the same special conditions. I will recite them. Number 1, license shall Licensee shall control loitering in the area adjacent to the licensed premises by 1, posting signs, and/or 2, by calling police for assistance. 2, licensee shall provide distinctive attire for security personnel, which identifies their status as security personnel. 3, licensee shall maintain a video camera on the exterior of the licensed premise and shall annotate all film for time and date and maintain said tapes for at least 30 days. 4, licensee shall not alter the premises from the layout shown in the sketch plan previously filed with the city clerk without first obtaining the approval of council by resolution. And 5, licensee shall be in compliance with ordinance O-029609 as amended relative to educational requirements for owners and managers. At this time, Council President, I would ask that you open this matter up for public comment.
At this time, as we are getting ready to prepare this for public comment, please come up to the microphone. You have up to 5 minutes.
Hi, yes, Danielle Morris, Somerset Street. Is this on the corner of Remsen and Handy?
Mr. Shannon, this is a release.
It's 117 Remsen, I believe it is on the corner.
Oh, so this is the one that, wow, that used to be a bar and you turned into a liquor store. And wow, since you turned it into a liquor store as well, how much more trouble has been caused by that? What you city council members are doing throughout the city of New Brunswick. Wow, do you really think like I said, is everything about money? Do you really think that, what you're doing is due to where, I tell you, I'm just studying right now because I'm very angry when it comes to liquor, due to where all these places that were bars, where you made them into liquor store, where you have more people drinking on the street in public, and like I said, after being attacked by a drunk man, due to where in areas that was just a bar and you turned it into a liquor store, I would say, wow, none of you take me damn seriously. Wow, maybe it's time that you become a victim.
It's not the establishment that more thinks it is, but
yes.
Regardless.
I was going to say, yeah, thank you for your comment, Ms. Danielle, but this is not related to the establishment that you were talking about, but thank you. Anybody else from the public wishes to address the council on this specific license? Is for la famosa?
Sorry. You were mentioning the security cameras on the exterior. Can you elaborate a little more? We're talking only one at the entrance or several covering the entire exterior side to side. Can you elaborate a little more on that?
Mr. Shannon?
I don't have the layout of all the cameras exactly where they're at. I don't even know if Detective DeGraw, who's present, does.
Or
But
like what will be part of the requirement, just have one at the front entrance or
well,
at each corner?
the exterior of the premises is what is being videotaped.
So it's outside, that's why the condition that he's required to have a camera outside.
Yeah, I understand that. Just as some businesses, have two looking at the corner of the street, they're at the intersection, one looks at the main entrance, another two cameras on each side interlooking at each other, one the northbound, the other one southbound, and the opposite side, same thing. So I'm just trying to get an idea if it's only one camera that's required or more than one cover the entire exterior of the business itself.
Well, when this condition was imposed in 2000, which is 23 years ago, I believe that it was a result of an incident that occurred on the sidewalk in or about the licensed premises is the term of art. So this particular licensee was required to install a camera or cameras to catch any activity that would occur on premises abutting its particular establishment. So I still can't tell you exactly where the cameras are, but with respect to the requirement, it does capture people outside the licensed premises.
Okay, so it's in the entire body of the business itself.
You can assume what you want, sir, but I don't know for certain. I'm telling you
That's
that.
why I'm trying to get clarification on what it's supposed to be recording, Because the front door could be on the main side of the street, but the business still owns,
Like I said,
sidewalk.
sir, the establishment is required, to videotape its patrons coming and going from the establishment. So unless they're climbing in the windows, I'm sure the front door is captured within the tape footage.
Okay, not clear enough.
Thank you.
Anybody else? No one else? The public portion of this is closed? Public hearing is closed?
Yes, with respect to this particular license, my understanding it's submitted for council's approval tonight with the special conditions. Last license on this particular hearing agenda, Madam Council President, is the Gala Cafe and Restaurant, Inc., trading as the Gala Cafe and Restaurant, liquor license 1214-33-007-003. With respect to this particular establishment, for the 2022-23 license year, two special conditions were imposed upon the licensed establishment, and I will read them as follows. Number one, licensee shall hire uniformed private security to maintain security on and about the licensed premises while the premises are open for business during the hours of 10 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. The licensee shall also furnish monthly written reports of the names and addresses of such individuals so employed to the New Brunswick Police Department Attention Special Investigations Unit. And two, all live and recorded music shall be turned off no later than 1:45 a.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Saturday, Sunday, and 1 a.m. on Sunday, Monday. Those are the two special conditions which the city seeks to reimpose for the 23-24 license year. And at this time, Madam Council President, I would ask that you open it up to public comment.
At this time, we're getting ready to open the public hearing on this matter. Anybody who wishes to address the council in this matter, you have up to 5 minutes, one time up.
So please tell me why at this bar, this location, due to where the music has to be turned off by 1:45 a.m.
Mr. Shannon?
Is this because Mr. Anderson?
Well, what I will recite for the council, benefit the council, is this special condition went into effect in 2020. I don't even think Mr. Anderson was on the council in 2020, quite frankly, but he might have been. Okay. With respect to that particular special condition, it was as a result of complaints from neighbors whose property was abutting this particular establishment.
And okay, thank you. Well, no, thank you. I don't need you to kill my time because, like I said, for you to say you wonder if Mr. Anderson was here 2020. Come on, be for real. Anybody know he was here? Due to where the last time this went through, due to where what? How he said he complained to the police department.
I'm sorry, Ms. Moore. I misspoke. I said
You said 2020.
but I was trying to give Mr. Anderson the benefit of youth.
Yes, I know, and that's why I said, believe me, so why are you treating this bar differently? Why? Because this is close to his house? Like I said, treat all equal. Like I said, is this due to where I will say, sure, I like this place. It's pretty nice. It's pretty quiet. Due to where, say, if I'm over to the park or something, due to where how nice they are, they let the people use the restrooms, go in there. I don't see any situation where I'd be over in that area with super loud music. But yes, like I said, I remember due to where you're only doing this because, wow, that's where Mr. Anderson said, oh, what a great job the police department does, as long as they keep it quiet on his block. Please, like I said, cool it with favoritism. If you can't treat everyone equal, you do not belong on this earth.
Thank you, Ms. Danielle.
For the record, Madam Council President, the address is 156 Paul Robeson Boulevard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else from the public wishes to address the council? Having none, the public...
Yes, I would ask that you close the public hearing. With respect to the Gala Cafe, there is submitted tonight for your consideration a resolution of approval with respect to the renewal of this license with the special conditions. Having gone through the 4 public hearings on the 4 licenses with special conditions, I believe that concludes the public hearing portion of your meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Shannon.
You're welcome.
City Clerk, Madam Clerk.
Council President, this is the fixed time for the public hearing on the 2023 city market budget. The city market budget resolution was approved by the governing body on May 3rd, 2023, and was advertised as required by law on May 18th, 2023, together with the notice of the hearing for this time. Printed copies have been made available to the public during the past week.
If anybody has no secure copy of this city market budget, you may do so now. At this time, I would ask the clerk to read resolution R0623008 by title only.
R-062300A by the Municipal Council. Whereas NJSA 40:56-84 provides that the 2023 New Brunswick City Market Budget, Inc., as advertised, shall be read in full at the public hearing, or that it be made read by its title only if, at least 1 week prior to the date of the hearing, a complete copy of the approved budget as advertised, A, shall be posted in the public place where the public notices are customarily posted in the principal public building, and B, copies are made available to each person requesting the same during said week and during the public hearing. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the New Brunswick City Council that it is hereby declared that the conditions of NJSA 40:56-84, 1A and 1B have been met, and therefore the New Brunswick City Market, Inc. budget for the 2023 shall be read by the title only. Be it further resolved that the certified copies of the resolutions shall be sent by the city clerk to the city administrator and New Brunswick City Market.
So, I hear a motion
I offer the foregoing resolution and move its adoption.
and a second.
Second.
Resolution is adopted.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call, I'm sorry.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes, now we're going to public hearing. So before opening this hearing, I wish to outline the procedure. Each person desiring to be heard may do so for up to 5 minutes per person, one time up. Address all questions to the chair, and when necessary, they will be referred to Pam Stefanik of the City Market. Questions must be confined solely to the city market budget, which is presented before us. Anybody, I now declare open the public hearing on the 2023 city market budget. The public hearing on the 2023 city market, oh, go ahead. Anybody who wishes to address the council on this matter, on the city market budget only, please come forth. You have up to 5 minutes, one time up.
Yes, that's where my concerns is. I see down here, downtown cleaning team, $122,000. Would you please tell me what areas are from what street to where you're talking about downtown for this much money to clean?
Fanny, can you acknowledge the question and answer, please?
Yes. It goes from Albany Street, from Route 18 to Joyce Kilmer, down Joyce Kilmer to Patterson, up Patterson, down Kirkpatrick to New, and then down New over to Nielsen, and then down to Dennis Street. So it's a 24-block radius.
So, okay, if this, I know you have different cleaning people. So is this the city or the parking authority? Who's doing the cleaning?
It's a contract with the parking authority.
So basically, okay, so you have, but I'm trying to understand due to what you're saying with this contract, it's with the parking authority due to where I know the city approved already, due to where, in a price range for George Street to be clean, Eastern Avenue to be clean, French Street to be clean, and Remsen Avenue to be clean. So please tell me why if you understand what I'm saying, why would they be getting paid twice for George Street to be cleaned?
I'm not clear what are you asking, but this is just, go ahead.
So currently, there's an interlocal agreement between the parking authority, City Market, and the city of New Brunswick. So this is the portion that City Market pays for cleaning the downtown area.
I understand what you're saying. This includes, just like they already, ordinance already went through for them cleaning downtown on George Street. That was a combination of George Street, Eastern Avenue, French Street, and Remsen Avenue to the parking authority. So like I said, I'm not understanding what, are they getting paid twice? What, to do George Street?
No, Ms. Anna, this is just part of what she's saying. This part is the portion, the part that City Market has to give, right? As part of the partnership, there's 3 partners, right? So this is the amount of money that City Market is putting to pay for, specifically for the City Market area, right? So this is what, this $138,000 is, I think it's 138 that you say is for. It has nothing to do that they're getting paid twice. It's just part of this specific agreement. It has nothing to do with the other agreements, it's just this one.
Well, like I said, it's just pretty strange to me to see the same street listed 2 times and an amount of pay. And like I said, due to where I say plenty of times, due to where with the parking authority, I still do not see the stuff being clean. I would say, I don't know I gotta get my buddy's name, the real cleanup man, where he's the one that's been doing so much cleanup, where I'm gonna put a lovely, lovely article up on Facebook about him, but for all this much money that's going to the parking authority to be clean, do I see it get clean? No, I do not, other than George Street.
Thank you, Ms. Daniel. Anybody else wishes to address the council on the City Market budget only? None?
I offer the, go ahead, I'm sorry. I offer the foregoing resolution and move its adoption.
I second the motion.
Roll call?
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Sikora Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes, the resolution is adopted. Thank you. Now we are going into ordinance for second reading. We have ordinance 052304, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 16, Land Development Code, Chapter 16.24, Site Plan Review. Do any of my fellow council members have any questions or comment on this ordinance? As we are preparing to open the public hearing on this ordinance only, you have up to 5 minutes per person, one time up. If any member of the public wish to speak on this ordinance, please approach the council at this time. Having none?
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Sikora Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance 052305. It's an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 17 zoning, Chapter 17.05, off-street parking and loading, Chapter 1706, signage requirements, Chapter 17.08, enforcement and compliance. Does anybody, any of my fellow council members have any questions or comment on this? We are preparing to open the public hearing on this ordinance only for up to 5 minutes per person, one time up. Members of the public wish to speak to the council on this ordinance, please approach the council. Having none,
Move the ordinance. Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Sikora Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance on first reading. Ordinance 0662-301 is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title III, Revenue and Finance, Chapter 3.24, Revolving Relocation Assistance Fund.
Move the ordinance setting down June 21st, 2023 at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised. Second motion.
Roll call.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Council President, Councilmember Sikora Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance 0662-302 is an ordinance to approve a long-term tax exemption and financial agreement between the City of New Brunswick and Sterling Site Urban Renewals LLC.
Yeah, I move the ordinance setting down June 21st, 2023 at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Sikora Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. At this time, we have resolutions 1 to 39. Number 23 was pulled. Before we go into the public comment part of it, does anybody, any of my fellow council members have any questions or comments on the resolutions? At this time, we are preparing to open the meeting to public comment on the resolutions only, for up to 5 minutes per person. One time up. If any members of the public wish to speak on the resolutions, please approach the council.
Good evening, Council. Charlie Cradaville with Brunswick today. I wanted to ask first about number 9. What is changing in the budget? What are the amendments?
Mr. Albright, can you give us a...
Yeah, just a brief synopsis. There's some revenues in the budget that are changing and appropriations as well that required advertisement because they were over the threshold of what was required to advertise for our municipal budget. So the draft amendment is in the resolutions, and then there'll be a public hearing on the next meeting.
Thank you. Number 14, can somebody tell me what this is and what prompted this arrangement for EMS e-schedule hosting and support?
Director Rose, he's not here. Anybody from the fire department can answer that question?
So this is software we use for scheduling and vehicle maintenance and documentation.
Thank
Okay,
you.
software that's already in use.
Correct.
Thank you. The next page, I'd like to understand about the number 20 agreement, jurisdictional agreement regarding Route 18.
Mr. Kelly?
With respect to the Route 18 corridor, which was built some time ago or improved some time ago, the State of New Jersey Department of Transportation requested that we memorialize the responsibilities of cutting lawn and repairs of roadways, etc. And that's what this agreement does.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you. The very next one is a lease management agreement with the county regarding the former Wolfson parking deck site. It's my understanding there's some contamination there. Can anybody speak to the needed remediation and the timeline for that? Because it seemed at a prior meeting that this is on track to become a park very soon.
Is he here? Mr. Valenti, can you speak to that?
Yes, specific to the lot in question, there is a deep water, groundwater concern. The site has been determined not to be the source. So the long term, there's going to be no need for remediation, but there's going to be a long-term requirement for groundwater monitoring. The occasional samples will be drawn, but the levels are pretty low. The deep stream underneath the bedrock is what the issue is. So there's no immediate danger to the public.
Thank you.
When he says that the levels are low, levels of what?
What are the levels that you're referring to, Mr. Valenti?
They're essentially, it's like a hydrocarbon. There used to be a kind of generating station back in the turn of the century, a block up. We believe that might have been the source of the contamination. But it's so old that the levels have dropped, or they're slightly above the levels of the DEP defines for, concern, but they're by no means even close to being hazardous. There's ongoing remediation. Sampling is being done, and the county's engineers are actually conducting that. Again, that's county property.
Thank you.
Right, that gets me to my next question. I just want to confirm it will remain county property and the city will rent it for $1 for 50 years?
Yes.
Okay. Any idea what happens after 50 years?
No.
No.
The lease expires second, we will see, so we will see.
Hope we're all still here. Let's go to 35. Is this because there's not currently a employed city engineer, or what prompted this, and what's the status of getting a permanent engineer?
Mr. Valenti?
Well, actually, we do have a city engineer who retired some time ago. I don't have the exact date. His name is Antoine Hajar. He's a PE, professional land surveyor, and certified municipal engineer. He's been employed for some time. This specific resolution is to adjust the charge rate to reflect the difference in the salaries between his predecessor.
Could you just spell that last name, Antoine?
Hajjir.
Thank you. And then the next one, I got to ask about this tax exemption for Sterling Side. Didn't they already get one? I recall a special meeting having to be called of this council in the morning, and thought you approved a long-term tax exemption for them. Why is it back?
Well, you're correct, Mr. There was one that was like over 5 years. It's going to be 5 years now since it's expiring, and there was some terms that because of the COVID and other inflation and other factors, the project didn't do the timeline that we were planning to have. So this is just to do one to comply with that and make sure that it's done in a timely manner. So it's starting a new 5 years.
Right, because now it's starting to cut into their profits.
Yeah, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next, any resolutions?
Hi, yes, Danielle Moore. Let's see, I'm gonna start with 33. Due to where Van Dyke Avenue, due to where there, once you approve this, would you be able to say around what time? Time of in the year that this will be done?
Mr. Valenti, do we have a timeline for the Van Dyke area project?
Yes, this is actually a combination of the predecessor. Directly after this project, we're going to do a roadway improvement to Van Dyke Avenue as well. This project was designed in-house with the help of the water department. We're adding infrastructure to Van Dyke, and we're bolstering the size of the water mains there, and then we're going to follow with a roadway improvement project, and then one portion of the road is actually going to get rebuilt. We expect this to happen this summer and into the fall. So we hope that by the end of the fall, the roadway project is complete, which will occur after the water project.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that sounds great, because my concern just was with this road being closed due to where, if it was, what with the new school opening on Jersey Avenue, that this being closed due to where so much traffic on Jersey Avenue, that was just my concerns. I had nothing against it. I was just worried about, like I said, traffic pile up once the new school opens up. And then as far as with 32, so I know there was a delay on some materials for this due to where the park was supposed to be finished by now, but I understand I was told already with Mr. Victor from the Department of Public Works and Mr. Valentley, does this have anything dealing with more supplies to be ordered to make sure that fix it?
No, the materials are in hand for this. We're adding, the intent was to see if we can do the project without the irrigation system. We feel that is absolutely prudent to improve the irrigation system. That should not have an effect on the overall schedule of the project.
Thank you.
So does any of this money have anything to do to where I know the police department was coming around saying that cameras would be put over in Pittman Park?
Yes.
Or that's something different? Nothing included with...
Not with this resolution, Ms. Danielle, no.
No, I'm just asking, it says Pittman Park, I don't know what every bit of the $183,000 is, I was just asking.
Thank you.
And I believe it was one more if I have time, but... And I would just say on number four, wow, honestly, this was the original liquor store and bar over there that was like this. But like I said, wow, since you guys, I have nothing against this, but my saying is, wow, since you made it so many more, wow, it's a severe situation with all the garbage, leaving their beer everywhere in that area. And like I said, wow, I'm very angry with the city council, but like I said, changing all these bars and making them into bars and liquor store. Wow, for the bar, you just stay inside and drink. Wow, you liquor store, you come out and what, all these people, which I brought down the pictures and I showed you. Wow, come on, especially in the school area. Come on, like I said, nothing against this owner, but come on, you gotta do something with French Street.
Thank you, Ms. Danielle. Anybody else from the public wishes to address the council on the resolutions only?
Yes, hi, good evening. My name is Linda Stork. I live at 12 Park Boulevard. And I have a question. Since it's just about the one, maybe you could take a minute and explain this to me. I don't understand the relationship between an ordinance to approve a long-term tax exemption and financial agreement, blah, 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 and the resolution to accept the same thing. So there's an ordinance to approve and a resolution to accept. How do they relate to each other?
Mr. Shelly?
They relate specifically under the statute that authorizes it, statute of New Jersey with respect to this particular type of long-term tax exemption requires that the council accept by resolution the application for the financial agreement and long-term tax exemption, and an ordinance be adopted after second reading and public comment, which actually grants the tax exemption. So it's a two-step process which is dictated by state statute.
So it would be accepted tonight, and then the ordinance gets voted on.
The application of it.
The application is accepted, and then it has to be, that's the approval. Okay. So I also didn't catch the explanation of why they have another one, and because it seems like everybody gets one, but why are they having another one now? It was kind of rushed at the end of Charlie's
So you need
comment.
an agreement. Why are we doing an agreement?
Another one with that,
Another
right.
one? Okay,
So
so,
wasn't the first one already covering this time period?
yes.
The timeframes provided for in the initial pilot tax exemption actually expired in layman's terms because the project was never developed. So because the council president did articulate, because of COVID and financial situations and inflation, whatever it may have been, the developer was never able to get the project for low and moderate income housing, which this project is for, off the ground. So their timeframes now are about to expire. In order for them to take advantage of the same long-term tax exemption, we have to start it all over again.
Okay.
And that's what this is.
Okay.
Nothing has changed.
Yes,
It's
yes.
just a
And this is one I actually think, this is great. There's going to be one for low and moderate income housing. That's been my thing for a while. But my question is, since the council recognizes that when they give out these long-term exemptions to pretty much everybody, which I understood much more when they were trying to attract people into New Brunswick, because maybe it was not considered that attractive public investment. But I think that we actually are a very attractive investment now. But I can't understand for low and moderate income housing, that's maybe not going to be as much of a profit for them, I don't know. But it would seem like, everybody's getting this exemption. What they do in other towns when they give the long-term exemptions, in recognition of the fact that they're bypassing the school system, they then set aside a part of it and dedicate it to the public schools. of that city, town. Has the city council considered doing anything like that?
Not to my knowledge.
Would you please consider doing that?
I
Because
don't have enough information, but thank you for your suggestion.
see, the thing is, these are really long-term. We're giving these people a long-term. And if the state ever pulled the plug on even a small fraction of the immense amount of aid, I mean, our school budget is very, very dependent on state aid. We would be in big trouble because we're not using the tax base that we have. These in lieu of tax payments, and it's for such a long time. We don't have guarantees that we're going to always get this much from the state. And I just think it's a very precarious situation that we unnecessarily put ourselves in. And I also think the schools could use the money now, honestly, even with the state aid. That, these people that are coming in, making a lot of money off of New Brunswick should be kicking something into the public schools.
Thank you, Ms. Orr. Anybody else from the public wishes to address the council on resolutions only? None?
Move the resolutions. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes, with the exception of 24 where I abstain.
Duly noted. Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Before we go into the public portion of the meeting, I just wanted to just make aware that, as you know, I'm going to feel it here. My throat is feeling it. The air quality situation with the fires in Canada that are affecting all of us. Just know that the city has been putting out information and alert in all the social media and the city page. And be careful out there. When you go out there, if you could wear a mask, go ahead and do it. Also, due to this situation, Unity Square is open today from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. For anybody who is on house or need to have a place where they could have some respite from this situation. And I want to thank the city's Department of Human and Community Services for making this possible. We have, as you know, Juneteenth is coming. We have a few celebrations in the city. I just want to make sure that people are aware. June 16th, 3 p.m., there's going to be a mural, flag raising, and a celebration at Monument Square. And also on June 17th, there's going to be the annual parade that we have been doing with the Vulcans and a few other organizations. A parade at 10 o'clock. The parade will start out on Remsen Avenue. And then there's going to be a big celebration at Recreation Park until 4 p.m. Everybody wishes to address or say any comments before we go into the park?
That was 10 o'clock.
At 10.
Great.
The parade at 10, I believe so, right? Sure? At 11? Okay, I saw it at 10 in a flyer.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's at 11, thank you. Okay, at this time, we are getting ready to prepare to open the floor for public comments. Any member of the public who wishes to address the council and make any comments at this time, please come up, one time up for 5 minutes.
Good evening, Council. Charlie Prattville, New Brunswick today. Did you have any responses to the questions I asked at the last meeting?
You have received most of the responses that you need, Mr. Carroll. And I don't know if that your capacity will change the results of what you're looking for. So which one is? So I would suggest that, I don't know what else. Do you have anything new to us?
Well, I'm still waiting on the answers, and you know I'm persistent, so I come back when I don't get them. How many hours has Director Caputo worked every week? That's a simple question. How many hours does he work? Does he work from home, or does he work on site at police headquarters? It's a fair question. I've asked many times, waiting for the answer still. Asked you about the fatal crash in downtown. If there was a fatal crash in downtown last month. Also asked how people can feel safe bringing their vehicles to town when a police officer's vehicle was stolen from the parking garage that the police run. Am I going to get answers to those or no?
If you haven't received the answer that you're looking for up to now, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I don't think that's acceptable, but there's a lot of important things going on, so I'm going to move on and say rest in peace Markel Williams, the latest victim of gun violence in New Brunswick, whose life was taken on Sunday night. And I noticed the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office did send me a press release. Is there any reason that New Brunswick Police didn't post that on the press releases section of the city website?
Do we know why it wasn't posted in the New Brunswick Police website?
Council President, when there's a crime of magnitude first-degree homicide, please follow directions of the prosecutor's office.
Thank you.
Well, of course. And so in the past, the city's taken these statements and posted them on the city website. Why wasn't that done this time? The last press release on the city website for police press releases is from February. Have there been no serious crimes since then?
I think I saw this particular one on the city on the social media. City, Mr. Burke.
Those are two different things.
Yeah, Madam President, there was a statement that followed from the New Brunswick Police Department that was posted on our city's social pages, that's correct.
Right, but not on Nixle, not on the website, and not on the police Facebook page either, right? The police have their own page, they didn't use it, did they? So I'm just asking why. You know, has the crime been solved?
Well, it wasn't the city's social media.
Has the murder been solved?
I don't think that question probably is under investigation. Once it is solved, we will hear about it.
Okay, because if it hasn't been solved, the police should be doing everything they can to get the public to help them solve it. And one way to do that is to use all your communications channels to alert the public, and that wasn't done. So.
I'm pretty sure the police and the prosecutor's office have that under control, Mr. President.
Okay. Is it true that they arrested the wrong guy for the murder in February 2021 and had to drop the charges, and now that one went from being solved to unsolved?
I'm not commenting on something that I don't know about. If you have any questions on that, follow with an email to the police department.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll be sure to copy you on it. I do want to move on and just speak from the heart, and these comments are just as a resident. You alluded to it. Just check my phone. The air quality index right now is about 296, and that's very unhealthy is the category. And you know, this is because of wildfires, which unfortunately are a form of extreme weather that becomes more frequent as the climate crisis gets worse. And so I think you agree with me that we are in a crisis. The climate crisis is very real, and we see it with things like more frequent storms, days like this with poor air quality. And I just want to emphasize that the plan to build another gas power plant in Middlesex County will mean we have more days like this. More days when we fear going outside, when our seniors, when our children are getting sick. And I want you to know what you're breathing in. It's called particulate matter 2.5. It's smaller than 2.5 microns. According to the EPA, it can travel hundreds of miles. That's why we're getting it from so far away. You better believe that Woodbridge, just 6 miles from here, is going to be spewing that stuff into the air if that power plant gets approved. And if they do that, we'll be breathing in more particulate matter 2.5. Why is it PM 2.5? Because it's smaller than 2.5 microns. That's why it travels so far. And I want you to think about when you get outside today, or when you're cruising around, I want you to think about what happens when you breathe it in. Because when you breathe it in, it gets in your lungs, and it embeds itself deep inside. It never leaves. And it causes harm to you. It causes cancer. It kills people and makes them sick. We need to stand up against fossil fuels. And I'm begging this council to use your power for good. Stand up against the plans for another gas plant here.
Thank you, Mr. Carnival. Next.
Hi, yes, Danielle Moore. I would like to say thank you to Mayor Cahill and his secretary for taking these seriously, where I was the one that made the call earlier during the day asking for shelter for the homeless due to a wow. I know how I was getting lightheaded, nose burning, so that's why I'm wearing 2 masks. I do appreciate that he did make a call from 3 to 7, but come on, it should have been the other way around. It should have been like code blue. If you watch the news by 8 o'clock tonight, all of this is going to be 3 times much more due to where during the day, people can go into the train station, the library. It should have been similar to code blue due to if it's going to be like this worse all night long. Come on, it should have been. I appreciate him listening, but come on, wrong timing on it. I'm going to start with, getting back to Ms. Councilmember Socorro Ludwig again. due to where I will be taking this to the news channel, with you telling me that my phone is not on a tracker through New Brunswick Police Department, due to where I'm tired of being harassed and followed, due to where I have several videos of New Brunswick where they keep doggone following me, and you telling me that my phone is not on a tracker to public? Please, may the Lord let you have your day, due to where I'm gonna send it to the news for you lying to protect the police department.
Come down to the river to get the fuck away from New Brunswick.
Excuse my language, but I'm not gonna play it all. But yes, like I said, for them to keep following me, he told me to call headquarters. Oh, what was the call? Oh, somebody on the bridge doing something. Yeah, what? That was me on the bridge, what, taking pictures of the carp that are goldfish down there? What, your detective? What, 2 police cars? What, I have the recording. And like I said, for you to lie and say that my phone is not on tracker through New Brunswick Police Department, how many witnesses? Wow, when I got the order from that Christian Rodriguez Ramirez, the one that I had an incident, was being released. Wow, how the hell did New Brunswick Police Department, instead of calling me, asking me, I have the public to witness, how did they know to come over to Pittman Park? They didn't see me. Now, I have several witnesses, like, oh, why did the officer come over here and tell me that he's being released? But like I said, may the Lord let you have your day for lying, saying that my phone is not on a tracker. Now, I would get to also do to where...
Excuse me 1 second.
Excuse me, I'm not going to waste my time.
Madam Clerk, I would like the record to reflect her particular words and as threatening to me as well.
Good, like I said the Lord, I didn't say me, and like I said, for every time you already received 2 threats, but like I said, I'm very angry, I'm tired of the racism with the council and with New Brunswick Police Department. Well, like I said, I will be taking this to the news channel, due to where what? To be harassed by all these drunk men that where you're putting a school at over by Walgreens, a man coming over there with 2 poles, attacking someone, busting someone's windshield, and then come towards me, and yes, I tased the shit out of him due to what? I've already been sexually assaulted. What? Come on, what is New Brunswick? What, a bunch of racists? They wouldn't even put the man in damn handcuffs, and I had the video, what, until I called them a racist. Please, and how on earth due to a wow, Detective Freeman, he said he never got the notice that he was under this case until yesterday he called me and said, oh yes, now I have the video of the suspect seeing him from Walgreens with the pipes. He should never have been damn released with what, 2 threats of terroristic threats, 2 charges of aggravated assault, 2 charges of simple assault, unlawful possession of weapons, and possession of weapons for unlawful purpose. Now, like I said, if New Brunswick Police Department for a while, a black man down on George Street due to her turning over garbage cans, wow, you made sure you got the damn video for him to lock him up, huh? Just for garbage? But wow, being attacked? May I say, wow, the 3 of you, like I said, you take it the way you want, I don't care. May the Lord, with Anderson, Escobar, and Ludwig, maybe it's time for you to be a victim due to where you keep protecting damn New Brunswick Police Department. You don't care about anybody else's, but, well, we're not going to talk about a shooting, we're not going to talk about this. Well, let you be a victim then, and let you see how it feels. Please, like I said, you're going to open up a school over there. Like I said, it's crazy over there. Why did I have a taser on me? What, the men keep running up sexually assaulting? Like I said, let you be a damn victim and see how it feels.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Person. Lieutenant Hoover, I have a question. Is it legal for a citizen to just use a taser on another person? Is that something we're allowed to carry?
Yes.
And thank you, yes it is, because Sergeant, no, I'm going to speak. Sergeant Bobadilla said it's legal as long as I did self-defense, and if you want to see it on Facebook, I have the witness where what? You keep trying to get charges on me, let the Lord charge you and let you the death.
Councilwoman, there are parameters, but generally, yes, laws was changed a few years ago.
It was self-defense. If you won't let me come near you.
If you want to remain, you have to...
Please, honestly, no, I don't want to remain with you, the motherfucker
just want you guys to keep in mind, of course, there's nothing too much going on with the city and our contract. They're too busy worrying about trying to suspend people from some incident that happened some time ago. Thank you, Shammy, for at least pretending like you were listening during that meeting, because Drulis was very rude. Of course, he doesn't want to hear, and he listens to everybody else, but when I speak, he doesn't want to hear it. The feeling is mutual. I just feel like that just shows your disrespect, and you called me unprofessional, but I seen it, and it just gives me some racist vibes, so I need you to work on that. But I also want you to keep in mind that all of these things going on with the city, with this air, and the smoke going on, we work in that. We gotta work in it tomorrow. We don't get to take the day off, you know, because then that goes against, you know, like the good attendance that you talked about, you know, don't. So, like I said, it goes against he doesn't know the definition of good attendance all of a sudden. So, like I said, we don't get to take the day off. We have to work in this outside. I've heard the stories of the man dumping the cans over. We have to pick that up. It's hard for us to service downtown because of the road blockage. If there's a medical emergency and there's an ambulance coming through, where do you expect us to pull this gigantic truck over and you're allowing people to double park? Because they don't get tickets. They're parked in the same areas every day. And how are we supposed to get over if they're trying to save a life and bring them through downtown? That's another worry of mine as well. I'm pretty sure other people don't really take it serious until something happens. This truck is blocking downtown. And there's really not too many options to pull the truck over, especially when you see, like right now, you go look out the window, there's campers. When you coming down here in the morning, you want us to start at 6 o'clock. You know, I understand that's a policy that's been for years. However, you guys are gonna have to figure out how to change that, whether we come in early or something, because that's a problem as well, trying to maneuver through the traffic with the school buses, the downtown being blocked off, the traffic being crazy because they're fixing roads. We don't get heads up about the roads being fixed, and they're blocking those roads off, so now we have to reroute these routes. You know, like I said, when these shootings and things are going on, most likely we're at work, depending on the time. We're working with all of this going on. We don't get a heads up. They don't care about our safety. It's just you guys have to really wake up and see like this is serious. It's not just about the money and the contract, because we see you guys just approved some parking authority cleanup. We do that every day. Like, I'm not even exactly sure about how easy it is to approve something like that, and whatever garbage is being illegally dumped all over the city, not just the inner city. And there's Rutgers Village and Dewey Drive. People just come through and put garbage out. You know what I mean? So we clean that up. I mean, where's the money for us? Like, these guys are out here killing themselves. At the very least you could do is pay them. I mean, the light bulb is still not coming on yet. I'm not really understanding, because we're too busy focusing on other things, like trying to retaliate and discriminate against a whole department. You have to see that this is serious. This worries me outside. I see people coughing and they can't breathe, walking down the street. Imagine these guys picking up garbage and they're saying it's gonna get worse. They're gonna be out there tomorrow picking up garbage, breathing and all this crap. And if they call out, or bunches of them call out, Brittany's gonna get blamed, because I'm not scared to stand here and face all of you. So my thing is where is their humanity? What's gonna happen if they all get sick and they call out? That's when that mouth is gonna run, I guess, because you know everything.
Are you done, Ms. Brittany?
Are you done?
I'm asking you.
I wasn't talking to you.
And I'm talking to you because
I don't care.
So this is it. Are you done?
Right, are you done?
At this time, then you time yourself. Thank you for your comments.
So is yours.
Mr. Dewey, can you address, what are we doing as precautions for our employees, especially during this time?
Yes, we're very concerned because of the difficulty in breathing. The department heads who have, say, employees who are out doing the work that Ms. Richardson talked about, and who we truly appreciate to do that work, we've asked them to see if they could start their day earlier. It appears that as the day goes on, the weather reports are this is getting worse. So if we could get out earlier, get the work done, shift to work that can be done inside, try to allow for as many breaks as necessary, break teams up so that they can have shifts inside as well. So the department heads have their own plans, they know the routes, they know the work, and giving them the latitude to be successful with their employees.
Thank you. Next, person?
Hi, April McLeod, 143 Sedan Street. So first of all, I want to thank you for your comment earlier, alerting us all that the Unity Square building is open for folks to go shelter during the poor air quality. That was actually something I was going to ask about tonight, so thank you for letting us know that that's happening tonight. Are there plans for that to continue to be open to shelter people in the coming days when the air quality will continue to be poor?
Mr. Julius, I'm pretty sure they will be looking at that, because if we just started, we're just going to put something in there, so.
Yeah,
They would be.
Mr. Jones and Mrs. Dubkowski, our OEM coordinator, and I will continue the meeting, making sure that we keep it open as we
Thank you. And then I want to reference back to something that's come up at many previous meetings, the need to amend the rent control ordinance, given that the cap for how much rent can be increased year to year is so high. I previously asked about this, and the council president has stated that you're considering it, talking about updates to that ordinance. Do you have any status update on those conversations?
We are closer than we are there. Hopefully for the next meeting, I'm hoping that we have something to present, but we're working on it.
Okay, I would definitely be excited to.
And if it's not, I will give an update at the next meeting.
All right, I appreciate that. And then I also, this has been referenced several times already tonight, that the air quality is, particularly dangerous today and is caused by wildfires that will become increasingly more common as the years go on, given what we're seeing with our changing climate. So I do want to also, again, reference back to an issue that's come up quite a few times in these meetings with the polluting gas power plant that's planned for Woodbridge, which the Murphy administration has a choice on whether or not to approve the pollution permit for that power plant. Obviously, we can see that if this air pollution is coming all the way from Canada and it's affecting our people greatly, we can imagine that air pollution that is being sourced just a stone's throw away from us is also greatly going to be affecting our residents. So given that this is really staring us in the face and there's really no way around acknowledging the problem with climate change and the problem with air pollution and how it impacts our residents locally, will the council follow the lead of the 15 other local elected bodies and reconsider passing a resolution to urge the Murphy administration to protect the health of our residents and not approve the permit for this new power plant?
At this time, the council stand by its decision.
I'm very disappointed to hear that, especially as we are seeing the undeniable impacts of climate change, and I think many of us, if not all of us in this room, are finding it harder to breathe today, just even for being outside short periods of time. And this is something that you all do have the power to make an impact here, and same with the 15 other elected local governing bodies that have taken a stance on this. And I strongly urge you to reconsider.
Thank you.
And then I've also previously asked the council about what the city is doing to address climate change, and particularly about a climate action plan or a plan to mitigate the impacts of climate change. The answer previously provided was a little vague, but essentially the answer is that we don't have a plan to deal with it, and we have some programs that are recycling and litter cleanup, et cetera, but in terms of the big picture issues and what are we actually doing to prepare for having more and more extreme weather events in the future, and to lower the emissions that are being produced within our city to try to address and stem the future impacts of climate change. Sounds like we really don't have a whole lot prepared on that. So
Is the council, or to your knowledge, is any city agency currently working to create such a plan on how to limit our emissions and deal with the impacts of climate change?
As you mentioned, I did give a statement on it, but I will follow up and see if there's any changes to it or if there's anything else that needs to be added.
And what city agency or department or whatever would be the place to go to try and initiate a plan like that?
Well, let me talk to the city administrator and I will let you know if there's anything that can be done, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Good afternoon, Carlos Ramirez reporting in Brunswick today. Councilwoman was asking Officer James, about the tasers. I wanted to ask, what items are people allowed to legally carry for self-defense in the state of New Jersey? You could ask Officer James.
Let me ask if Detective Hoover does that question. That's a very loaded question. Do you know what items are legal to carry for protection in the state of New Jersey?
There are a couple of different things, but I mean,
Well, Madam Council President, if I could just interrupt. We, as a practical matter, don't give legal advice or directives when it comes to things of that nature. I wouldn't want.
So where can somebody find that information? There's the state of New
You can go
Jersey
hire a
law.
lawyer, you can go on the Attorney General website, the
Okay, so-
prosecutor's office. The law is ever changing in that area, and I just want to caution the council that I don't think it's a good idea that any of us give out legal advice regarding something of such a serious nature.
Duly noted. I was looking at legal, anything statute-wise, if there's anything, but Mr. Ramirez, you could look into the state of New Jersey under the Office of the Attorney General.
Well,
for the
obviously,
guidance on
Brunswick
that.
Police would know what to charge an individual with if they
Again.
are, stating self-defense.
We don't
Okay.
give
I need to
advisory
get a council member
opinions.
to ask a question
That's-
of what you can use for self-defense.
So that's something that we are not able to answer at this time, right now.
I think it's pretty shameful, that you're an elected official and you are unable to provide answers.
Legal,
to
right,
your
legal.
residents. Legal or not, I think you still stand in a position where you can ask that question, just like another council member did, Or do I need to be threatened and be in a position to be able to ask a fellow colleague that works for the city to answer a question, I think it's pretty shameful you're not able to provide any type of response to community members in here.
Mr. Shami?
Yes, Madam Council President, members of council, I think the public needs to understand the function of this body. We're not up here to give advisory legal opinions to members of the public who want to pontificate about hypothetical situations that may present themselves so that they could go out and be guided so accordingly. That would reek of liability for the city council. A government body doesn't do that, okay? And as long as I'm sitting here, will not allow you to do that.
No, and I
This
agree.
gentleman or anyone else.
I agree. I was just referring in the question that it was maybe referring into the law, right? Because
Right.
the law, the police should know the law. So
If-
that's why, but I totally agree with you. You're the lawyer, you are counsel, and we have to abide by your guidance.
Fine,
So-
thank you.
Anything
Do you think
else?
that's the proper question that should be directed to the police officers that do charge individuals with whenever they claim self-defense? Do you think that
We're
would
not
be
going to
all the
answer
way?
anymore. If you have any questions into that, you could just send an email to the police department and inquire about those questions, if they're able to answer at this time.
I know you mentioned other community events happening in the city. I just wanted to ask why you didn't mention the one occurring with Pride event in Joyce
What
Kilmer
is
Park.
that?
I think
It was the resolution,
I believe 27.
the 27th of June?
Resolution 27, I believe it was.
The same date as the 17th. I believe it's on June 17th.
The 17th is the same as
At 2
Juneteenth.
o'clock.
At 2 o'clock, there's one. And I didn't mention it because I was celebrating Juneteenth, but absolutely, I invite the public to be there at June 17th.
And the march starts at 12, actually.
Okay. How long has this damage on top of my head been there? Clear concern, something might fall eventually.
Any other questions? Any other questions, Mr. Ramirez?
I mean, you've been here long enough to know, at least we could get some aesthetics working on here.
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
do believe we
Just
have
like the track, we can
requested
get
a
it
bid
picked up.
to try to do the
They
work.
they know, that there has been a bid requested for that to address the challenges here in the chamber councils. So, but some people forget to remember. Yes.
Hi, good evening again, Lindy, 12 Park Boulevard. So the last time I was here, I was led to believe that there was discussion of hiring the part-time summer workers in the city, the different city departments, and I asked a question if all the full-time regular positions were filled, and I was told that they in fact were. And so, in fact, I think they are not, unless somebody's lying to me. Specifically, what called it to my attention was there's a pile of rather large, so I'm assuming expensive, trees with the root balls still waiting to be planted. Weeks, probably a couple months now, in Bucalo Park. A couple years ago, the last time they ordered trees, it got so, I think they wound up chipping them because they didn't have enough people to plant them. So, I guess that was more pandemic times or whatever. But to my understanding is you're allowed to use the pandemic money to make up for things that happened during the pandemic. So how about we use some pandemic money and get an arborist? I found out they've been missing an arborist for 6 years. Well, that's going to be a problem if you're the Department of Shade Trees, Parks and Shade Trees. You need an arborist. All the part-time summer help in the world isn't going to fix the fact that there's no arborist, and it's also not correct to bring in part-time people to try and make up for not hiring the full-time people. So I think if we had used some pandemic money, or would use some pandemic money, to both reward the city workers that stuck with us all through the pandemic under difficult circumstances, and to attract the people that are still missing from the staffs of however many departments are still missing staff, I don't know. But apparently, it's hard because now that there's more jobs available for the number of workers, we have to be more competitive. We have to do what we have to do to get the people. So, if we have to offer more money, then I would think that's what we have to do. Also, the grant that came in for the cleanup of the city, I hope there's a plan to just strategically use that. My feeling is, because it's the same over and over, it's the same neighborhoods, and I've seen my kids come back, after being away for a period of time, and it's just, it's dirty. Our city is dirty. There's litter everywhere. We take the baby out for a walk, and it's disgusting. If they would use the grant to go up and down the streets and target the owners of the houses where this litter always is, and cite them repeatedly. Because, I can call, and if I repeatedly call on a certain house, they'll probably get tired of getting, but I get home from a walk, and it's so many properties, I can't even remember all the addresses, and it shouldn't be my job to call. We should have enough people that you can see the whole neighborhood is a mess, and just go out and cite all the homeowners until they get their act together. Because if the money is just all used to, go around and clean up the litter, then the next day there's going to be litter again. There's always going to be this litter. If the owners of the place, they make a lot of money off these students, packing them in. They can pay somebody, because they obviously can't get the students to do it, they can pay somebody to keep the property clean and maintained. It's sometimes the same, often it's the same stuff that belongs to the tenants there. They don't put it out properly, or they just, in my neighborhood, the people that, the places that were rented to students, they just cleared out all the things. They put the whole contents of the house out on the street and expect the city workers to come. Yeah, when I saw you guys that day, I was like, next door to me. They just throw all the stuff out there. It's not even in boxes or bags or anything. It's just spot. And they're told to clean it up. That's not fair to the city workers, first of all. And second of all, where's the incentive for these out-of-town, big-time landlords to do the right thing? It's just, oh, I wasn't even done.
Anybody else wishes to address the council? Saying no? To take motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda,
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes.